Amber from the Me and Jorge blog, and I wanted to show you a little bit about how my life has changed since I started the Belly Fat Cure. Before I started Belly Fat Cure, these two things were staples in my diet. I had a lot of Coke Zero, and I really wouldn't have thought I had a lot of Splenda, but the fact that I have a Costco box of Splenda that has 1,000 packets in it is proof that maybe I had a little more Splenda than I'm admitting. And I say I had one Coke Zero a day, but my husband would say that was just where I started. And just to prove to you, I've been on the Belly Fat Cure for almost 12 weeks, and I didn't finish the Cokes I had. They're still sitting here, unused, from the day I started the plan. So this is what I have now on the Belly Fat Cure. If I want a snack on the Belly Fat Cure, my favorite thing is Baby Bell cheeses. I get them at Costco, and they're little cheeses wrapped in wax. So they're perfect because they're just one little serving size, and I can't really overeat with them. If I really need something sweet on the Belly Fat Cure, then I go for dark chocolate. These are just a few of the dark chocolates that I have. You want to make sure that they have at least 85% cocoa in them. These have a little bit more. And if you check out the blog, I have a review on like maybe 8 different chocolates. But you can have one serving of these. You have to check the back and see what they say. And yeah, this box is empty. But you have to check it and see. And like these just barely meet the requirements for the Belly Fat Cure snack, but they have a lot of fiber too, which is something good and hidden. You might have heard that you can't have milk on the Belly Fat Cure, and that might turn you off a bit, but one thing you can have that Jorge highly recommends is the almond breeze or the unsweetened almond milk. You have to make sure that it's unsweetened. If you live someplace else, you might be able to find unsweetened soy milk or some things that have really low carbohydrates like this brand does, but typically even unsweetened soy milk has high carbs. Another thing you can find, which Candace over at Cooking to Lose That Belly discovered for us all, is the Slow Delicious unsweetened coconut milk. It's even lower in carbs and zero sugar than the almond breeze. So that could be your milk replacement. The other thing that I found is that I make iced tea, and that's replaced my Coca-Cola habit. You can have Zevia, which is made with Truvia, which Jorge talks about a lot. It doesn't taste just like a regular root beer. It's not an exact replacement, but it's okay to have. It does cost you 1 serving of carbs, though, to have it. And the one thing that I have that Jorge talks about a lot is the Sobe Life Water. I really like this. It also costs you a serving. But the difference in the Sobe Life Water and the regular Sobeys is this white top, and it says 0 calories. You can get them at Target and lots of other stores, and they have lots of flavors. This I really like. But mostly I try to have water and have iced tea for my Coca-Cola replacement. Some of the other staples in my diet that I have now are the Smart Delicious tortillas. I get these at Costco, so you have a 20 count in there. And while you can use pretty much any tortillas on the diet, these particular ones have 12 grams of fiber, which is a great fiber count. Just 1 sugar and 18 carbohydrates. And so I make tacos out of these. I make burritos out of these. I even make my pizza out of these. These are the things that I have at least once a day, and they help with my fiber count. Something else that I have regularly on the Belly Fat Cure is the J-Rob protein shakes. When I first started the plan, Jorge was talking J-Rob and kept saying J-Rob's name, and I think, well, maybe Jorge has a product placement with J-Rob, and I resisted that. So I went with the GNC brand and thought I was doing great in the first few weeks. And then one day I heard Jorge mention the reason he recommends J-Rob is because he does not use artificial sweeteners. And that never occurred to me before to check. So sure enough, I went and checked, and my GNC that I'd spent $60 on all my shakes had aspartame in it. So I went and bought J-Rob and started listening to Jorge. The other thing I have regularly is the Uncle Sam's. That's another brand that you'll hear Jorge mention. And I didn't fight this. I just went and got what Jorge said after I checked a little bit. It has 38 carbohydrates. That's for 3/4 cups. And 10 grams of fiber and less than 1 sugar. This is a really great cereal. It's nothing fancy, but it's good. I just eat it dry. And just to give you an example of how not trusting Jorge completely, I decided to try Fiber One cereal. You think Fiber One is known as a really healthy cereal, whole grain, looks like it tastes like cardboard. You think this is great. And I went and looked at it and thought 14 grams of fiber, 28 carbs, and 0 sugar. This is even better. Why doesn't Jorge talk about this? So I bought it, I brought it home, and I had 1 bowl of it, and I knew immediately, actually I just had a bite of it, I knew immediately that it had a sweetener in it of some sort. And sure enough, right there in the list is aspartame in Fiber One cereal. So that's no good on the Belly Fat Cure. So another thing that I have regularly is I have lots of spinach. I make salads out of it. I use it on top of stuff. I even put it in a shake that Jorge's recommended for us that you can find on my blog called Bug Juice. But I don't think I ever bought a package like this of spinach before I started this diet, even though I'd have lots of salads. I also use chia seeds, which they're kind of expensive. I think it was $10 for this bag. You let them soak, and they have tons of fiber and other nutrients in them. I also use ground flaxseed kind of in the same way and just sprinkle it on top of stuff. I also add flaxseed oil to things when I cook. For the J-Rob shake, for example, I put a tablespoon of the flaxseed oil in it, and I try to find it and put it into other things. It's really important to find a good bread on the belly fat cure. This I get at Trader Joe's, but it's specific to Northern California, so you may not have this even at your own Trader Joe's. But the trick is reading the label. I don't know if you can see it on here, but this one actually says it's for 2 serving sizes, so you have to be really good at reading the label. So 2 slices of my bread is 15 carbs, 3 fibers, and 2 sugars, which is a really great count. If you can find a bread like that that's 1 sugar and 7 grams of carbs per slice, you stock up on it. I just got this out of my freezer, so I always have one in my refrigerator and one in my freezer ready to go. Another thing is you can have hamburgers on this plan, but you typically can't have the buns because that's where all the carbs is. So we do protein burgers with just lettuce. So these are the skinny buns. I don't have the outside package because I got them from Costco, which they came with a ton of them. And these have a great carb count too. They're a little higher than the bread, but they're little skinny hamburger buns that you can actually have like a real hamburger. And I have really picky kids, and my kids even eat these. And let's see, one more thing I wanted to show you was earlier you saw my big Splendid box, which is kind of embarrassing. This is what I use for my sugar replacement. I use sun crystals. A lot of people like the Truvia, and I don't remember why I got sun crystals instead of all the other brands. I tried stevia, just straight up, it was too bitter. This is pure cane sugar and stevia mixed together, but it's not free, it's not sugar-free. There's a little bit of sugar in here. There's 1 gram of sugar and 1 carb per packet. I almost never use this. I use it very rarely. I keep it in my purse for if I happen to go to Starbucks or I need sugar in an iced tea somewhere. But this is what I use. But all of them, the green boxes are good. The other thing that I really regularly do on this plan that I've never done before is I take probiotics. This is the brand that Jorge recommended to us. It's the Ultimate Probiotics 1212. He said this brand because it had all 12 strains, and honestly I looked around and researched a lot and I couldn't find anything else with 12 strains. I know other people have it. I couldn't where I live. So I take these 3 times a day. It basically puts good bugs into your intestines, kind of like the Activia and different yogurts you see. The yogurts are too high in sugar on this plan, so we can't have those. So that's what that is. And then I also do a fiber tablet because I don't feel like I get enough fiber. And I do another fiber supplement. This is like Benefiber, but it's generic or Target brand. So I do supplement my fiber just because I feel like I don't get enough. The other important thing on the belly fat cure is gum. Gum is really good at satiating your hunger. If you're out and about and you're really hungry, instead of grabbing a bag of chips or something unhealthy, a lot of times we'll look to gum. But almost all the sugar-free gum out there, I guess I should say all of it, is sweetened with aspartame or sucralose or whatever the third one is. Except for Spry and one other brand, I think. They're made with xylitol, which is supposed to be good for your teeth, but I don't know about that. So anyway, you pick up Spry at I got mine at the Vitamin Cottage, but you can pick them up at different places now. And the other thing, that's my last recommendation on the belly fat cure, is to make sure you pay attention to serving sizes. For example, my cereal that I have regularly, you might fill up your bowl, like halfway fill up your bowl, when all you can really have is 3/4 cup. And if you get 3/4 cup, that's 38 grams of carbs. So that's almost into 3 servings, which you don't want to do. So I try to keep it to half a cup. So I keep out my measuring cups and my tablespoons, and I make sure to measure everything I do, even though I'm really familiar with it. So that's just how I eat on the belly fat cure.